Okay, so I usually make videos on this channel when I need to rant about something or I just need to let it go, and it's kind of like my therapy. But the reality of motherhood is it's so conflicting. So basically, the past 3 months, I've been a stay-at-home mom because of COVID. Um, I'm still working, but obviously, not doing anything new, not undertaking any big projects. Um, there was a lot of stuff that happened in the company. The past 4 months have been pretty much a lot of stress because of COVID. A lot of things had changed. The supply chain has changed, and we had a huge amount of personnel changes in a very short amount of time. And this all happened between my last month of pregnancy and probably 1 month after giving birth. So during those 2 months, it was very, very stressful. I mean, think about everything that had happened. Um, everything that had happened, and then you're giving birth in a pandemic at the height of the pandemic, and then 1 month postpartum, you just have all this shit that goes on. Yeah, I don't even know how I got through it, to be honest. I really don't. Plus, with the most colicky baby, this baby that screams at the top of her lungs, doesn't sleep, everything. Like, it was so difficult. But looking back upon it, I'm like, how did I even overcome any of it? But I guess during it, I wasn't really thinking it was that difficult. You know what I mean? But now that I think about it, I'm like, how did I get through any of that? Because any one of those factors would have been so hard to deal with, but I had all of those factors that I had to deal with all at once. And the thing about being a small business owner that no one really tells you is that it doesn't matter what your personal circumstance is. It doesn't matter. People do things for their own selfish reasons. And you have to just, you have to deal with that. Even if you're still bleeding profusely out of your vagina and you have a crying baby all the time and you haven't slept, you still have to deal with it. That's it. And that is why, the CEOs get paid what they get paid. Like, I can't just take a break. I can never take a break from it. And yeah, and it was just crazy because, like, after giving birth, I guess I could have gone on maternity leave, but these issues still would have happened and I still have to deal with it at the end of the day. So yes, I do get help from people, but at the end of it, I have to make the decision and the call. And that's the hard part about running a business that I feel like nobody ever really talks about. And I do feel I can't be mad at anyone for it because at the end of the day, a lot of circumstances were out of my control. And at the end of the day, people will do what's in their own best self-interest, But I just felt like, I don't know, I just felt like the timing was really bad. Anyways, wow. Just even looking back upon it, it just like stresses me out. But yeah, I would say from March to June have been probably some of the most stressful times of my life. I've had anxiety like no other. It's this kind of anxiety where it's like heart palpitations. And I think the anxiety comes from a lot of different factors, but one part is just so many changes that happened with the business. I think another thing is, the baby crying all the time, and just crying and trying to deal with that. Another thing, I think the big thing is COVID. You can't really have help. I interviewed like a few nannies, and I was actually going to interview one And I was really excited about her. She had great references. And then she already got hired, like, before I even got a chance to meet her. And ever since then, I just haven't felt super safe about bringing a nanny in because I don't know. I don't know if I could trust them with like the COVID precautions. So that's been really hard. So I've basically been a stay-at-home mom. Stay-at-home mom with the hardest little newborn possible, plus dealing with everything else, plus being stuck at home and not being able to do anything, being home. So yeah, it's been a rough period. And being a stay-at-home mom absolutely is terrible. I hate it. It doesn't mean that I hate being a mom, but it is an awful job, at least for me. It is so much hard work, but it's not respected. And I think that's the issue. Like, if you're doing hard work and you're respected for it, at least, like, you know, you can be like it's like, oh, if you're a surgeon, like, yeah, you're respected for it. But if you're a stay-at-home mom, you don't have control over your finances. You don't have control over your life. You have these kids that you have to attend to. They take over control of you. And most likely, you know, you're supported by your husband and then he controls the finances. It's like it's a really hard job. And you don't have control over your life and you don't get to express creativity, and it's hard to like use your intelligence and your creativity into your role of being a stay-at-home mom. And again, some women love doing it, and I think it's really great. And I think, you know, for some women and some families, it is the right thing. For me, no, never. I'm going batshit ballistic. You know, I'm still working too. So I guess I'm not like a stay-at-home mom, but I have been basically a stay-at-home mom. Yeah, it's really just like, awful. It's awful. It's hard, and you never get a break. And things like taking a shower or going pee, like you can't just like pee when you want to. You have to like wait until the right time is. Like, you can't just eat when you want to. You have to finagle your way to somehow get some food in your mouth, you know? And it's just constant cleaning. Every night you have to clean bottles. Every night you have to sweep the floor. Every night you have to do laundry. Every night you have to do this, take out the trash, blah, blah, blah. It is just, it's so mind numbing, you know? Like, it's, yeah. And if you're complaining about your job, I don't think any, like, now it's like, you don't ever need to complain about your job, because no matter what shitty job you have at an office or whatever, at least you get to like know, hey, I get to take a lunch break. Hey, I get to go to the bathroom. Hey, I get to at least use my mind and be creative, and I have some control over my work, you know? But when you're a stay-at-home mom, you don't get any of that. So it's been, so it's been really difficult for me. It's been difficult for me. I can't work when Indy's awake. That's hard because she's awake most of the time. So I can't work when she's awake because she just needs constant interaction, supervision, whatnot. So that's been difficult. But just the conflicting feelings about being a mom and whatnot, you know, people are like, you're gonna love being a mom. Do I love being a mom? Yes, I do, but I don't love being a mom, meaning that I will publicly share that I love being a mom, because I don't feel like it's my identity being a mom. I am a mom, but that's not what I want to identify myself as. You know what I mean? I want to identify myself more as an entrepreneur, because I feel like I identify that more with that. So I feel like when you identify yourself being a mom, it's like that's, I don't know, it's just like, it's mind consuming, mind numbing. And I feel like I have not been as creative and I've not used my brain in so long that I feel like almost dull. Like my mind feels dull and I need to sharpen it. And I think part of it is due to COVID. I don't get to go to conferences or seminars or, hear people speak and inspire me. Yeah, a lot of being a mom is very, very mind-numbing work a lot of times. And it's hard work. It's hard work, but it's not stressful. Okay, so there's a difference between like hard work and stressful. Stressful work comes when you're running a business because you have to make a lot of decisions that you don't know if it's gonna work out, and it could ruin a bunch of shit. Being a mom is hard work, but it's hard work like manual labor hard work. But it's still hard work because you don't ever get a break, and it's exhausting after a certain amount of time. What do I love about being a mom? Honestly, just seeing her grow up so fast is crazy, and seeing her develop all these new skills has been really cool and crazy. Yeah, just seeing her grow, like every day she's a new person. And, it's just weird because like she is nothing how I expected her to look and nothing how I expected her personality to be. Although I do think I expected her to be this determined, to be this like feisty. But I can tell you that she's very, very determined in what she wants. Today she was screaming her head off ballistically for like 10 minutes, and all she wanted to do was to be sat upright. She stopped crying. Immediately when I sat her upright, she just stopped crying. So she basically wants something and she will do whatever it takes to get it. She won't stop until it's done. And then I'm like, maybe that sounds like me. So she's like that personality. She's very, very particular. Every tiny thing has to be exactly perfect. So is she a perfectionist? I don't know, but she's very, very particular. And she's very strong physically. Like the way she's developing, she's very good and like strong physically. She's very curious. She loves to sit up because she likes to look at what's going on around her. She doesn't want to be laying flat on her back. It's like so boring, the ceiling, right? So she wants to look around. She loves watching YouTube. She loves watching TV. She loves, if I'm on the computer, she loves looking at what's going on. Very inquisitive, very curious. So yeah, so her personality is kind of molding and shaping into that. And I honestly want her to be smart. Tearing up. I want her to be smart, and I want her to be determined. I really want her to be determined, and I'm pretty sure she has my determination, because that's like, if you were to describe Daisy, I am determined. Like there's no other way to describe me. And I hope she has that, because no matter what she becomes, who she is, if she has determination, she will be successful and she will be able to kind of live her life. So yeah. So I hope she's determined in her life. And I think it's good to be determined. You have one life, you have one dream, go for it, do it. But I don't know. It's like the past 3 months since she's been born, she's, it's gone by so slow. Every day it's like, oh my gosh, especially when she's crying and she's being really annoying. It's like the seconds seem like hours. But it's weird because I don't know what life was like before she was born, kind of, it seemed like forever ago I was pregnant, or forever ago, we were in pre-COVID and we could just kind of do whatever we wanted to do, book flights and go places. Like that seemed like a life, a life ago. That seemed like life ago. So yeah, those are my real thoughts. 3-month baby update. Being a mom, it's a lot of hard work. And no matter how much the woman works, and this is the issue, and this is why women are not having kids in other countries like Japan and Spain and Korea. Like the reason why women don't want to have kids is because It's just a lot of work, and we still have to do it. Like, at the end of the day, unless you're in, a unicorn relationship where the guy assumes the household chores and he takes care of things in the house and, takes care of the kids and works and all that. My dad was actually a unicorn. My dad is a unicorn because my dad, he basically, like, he did a lot of household chores and stuff. And he was the breadwinner too. My mom also worked too, but my dad made more than my mom. But, he just kind of did it all. So unless you're in that relationship, but most relationships, the women will tend to be more involved with the kids' education, the kids' development, and the household, like, chore stuff, right? No matter how successful the woman is, she will automatically just gravitate towards that. And so it is a lot of stress and anxiety for women, especially if they have a high-powered job, right? But it also sucks to be a stay-at-home mom and to quit, not working anymore, right? So, yeah. So I can't wait for this COVID thing to be over so I can pretty much outsource all of the menial things that comes with being a stay-at-home mom and, get back into my groove and stuff like that. And, Indy will grow up and hopefully she will not have as many temper tantrums. And she can go to preschool and daycare and school and stuff like that. So at least I get a block of time to myself. But yeah, raising a newborn during a pandemic as a small business owner has not been a walk in the park, but we can get through this. At least I can get through this. I can get through this because I have no choice. I can get through this because I can't just return my daughter and I can't just quit, doing what I do. So I have to get through this no matter what. So we'll get through it.